everybody. This is just stay-at-home grandma, and I have somebody coming on at 7, but I have to do kind of some reviews because, like I said, I'm just completely backed up. This whole 4th of July guy. Anyway, moving right along. And I'm a little blurry still, and I don't know what it is, so I'm going to have to call the company and find out what's going on. But just in case you want to know, I'm drinking coffee. And that coffee is so good. But I will tell you about that in a little while, okay? So, the first thing I did, I got these. My husband is up fixing my shelf in my art room. I got to tell you. So, last night, I'm in the bed. I took my shower and everything. I'm in the bed, and I'm reading, and my granddaughter's next door to me. She had come in from work. And we hear this big bang. She comes out of her room, and she looks at me, and I look at her. And I call upstairs to grandfather, and I say, "Did you drop anything? Did you fall or anything like that?" And no. I said, "Well, we heard something." We come downstairs, nothing. All over. It sounded like glass breaking, nothing. We look all over the house, nothing. We come back upstairs to find that my shelf had somehow or other gotten loose. We don't, well, I guess because we didn't put the screws in right, but it fell down, so all my paint fell down. Thank goodness that with no cans of paint open. So he's fixing that for me now. So these are the buttons that they say. There's like 1,000 buttons in here. I don't know how to really equate that one, but there's like 1,000 buttons in here, and I'm going to be using them in my art. So just stay tuned for that. Oh, come on. Seriously? This phone drives me crazy. It don't ring until I'm online. I'm going to mute it right now. I have to mute it because if I don't, it'll be ringing. I don't know. And there's nobody that I know that calls this time. So then I got these oil of oregano. These are traditional herbs. And I got these. And I used to sell Nature Sunshine, and I don't know whether I'm going to get back to it or not, but I haven't done herbs in a while. I just buy them. So whenever they have them, and then they give me discounts and stuff. So these are 4,000 milligrams, but I'm taking these as well. Okay, so that's that. I got some this was my, hey, Wellness Frugal Mama, how are you? I'm coming on tomorrow. Be ready for the, yeah, don't just be ready. I'm coming on tomorrow. This is Capri Sun. I brought 2 of these. If you hear anything, if you hear any noise, it's just him and the boys up there working. This is Capri Sun, and I bought 2 of these, and these were I think Aaliyah's deals. If you go on my website, you'll see Aaliyah's deals, and you can get all kinds of deals. I think these were $193 a piece, something like that. So anyway, that's that. So on this side, I bought my granddaughter's bras. Okay, they need bras, so I bought. I think there's 3 of these. Yeah, there's 3 of these for my granddaughter, and these are sports bras, and she actually needs these. And then I brought my other granddaughter, so tiny. She reminds me of my mother. She's short and tiny like my mother was. My mother was nothing like my mother, more like my father's people. Um, and they don't want to go there. But she's really tiny, so she's small. So I got her these, and I think there's 5 in these I got to review, so to speak. And there's not too much to review on bras. Everybody knows what they look like now. These are more her. And these are blue, brown, black, beige, and white. If I pick them up, you'd see them, wouldn't you? So I'm going to wash these and them wash. Hey Tiffany, how you doing? Coming on for the coffee? He's coming on in a few. I gotta watch the time too, because he's already in the chat. You want to come on? I'm gonna, Alex, I'll be with you in 1 minute, okay? All right. So then, from the Elite deals, I got. Are you at work? I got these hefty bags, and these were the Arm & Hammer hefty bags, and they have citrus twist in them. So I got these from Aaliyah's deals. These were, there's 40 of these, and I believe that these were $4.99 on Aaliyah's deals. Carol uses Aaliyah's deal. I see Carol on there as much as I want. Okay, let's a couple of things. I got the electric pest repellers. These things are really good. At first, I didn't believe it. You know what I mean? But these are electric pest repellers, and these are actually wonderful. I'm really happy with these. We live in the country, and right behind me is the river, and so we have mice. I haven't seen any mice in so long. So whenever they ask me to review them, I get them because I actually give them away, as prizes to people, but then I give them away to my daughter and stuff like that. And again, forgive me because I don't know what's going on with the screen right now. And it's not me, it's because everything else is clear. So I don't know whether it's SteamYard. I'll have to write them when I get finished. So these are ultrasound pest repellents, no poison, no insecticides, no traps. And that's good because I don't want to see any traps. And they were good for mice, ants, spiders, and other things that I don't recognize. All right. So that July and August, we're doing Christmas in July, and I got these. And these are for the resin. And I won't do this time, but probably next week. Okay. And so that's it. So I'm going to actually ask him to come on because he's in the issue. So
Hello, Mr. Nia. How's it going?
Alex, now you're clear. I'm not. I don't know what's going on with this today, but we're going to go ahead anyway. How you doing?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm alive and nothing hurts today. And I'm drinking. I made iced coffee. Yes, it is a blessing. And I made iced coffee out of your coffee. I like coffee hot, cold. I just like coffee.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What kind of recipe did you make? Are you like a caramel, iced coffee, macchiato?
No, I drink anything, and I also spill a lot of things. No, I'm choking. I made caramel with it,
Okay.
And I made it kind of a nice coffee. I didn't do any frosty thing or anything like that. I do that sometime, but I didn't do that today. But I will say this, okay? And I'm like a coffee lover. This coffee that he has is so good. You've got to try it. And there are a couple of things that I forgot to ask you. And that is because I can put you on my little, my banner. So I can put it on. So if you want to give them a percentage off, if you can. If you can't, that's fine. If you want to give them a percentage off, if you can, then I'll put all that up. Just email everything to me, how you want it done, and then I'll put it on the banner. If you see the banner going on, it's everything that I'm starting to advertise.
I think that would be an awesome idea. I'll work on that or currently it's on Amazon.com, but I'll work on the logistics and I'll get that over to you. It's been a blessing. Okay. I'm just glad to be on your show. So
I'm glad that you're running. Anybody that has a small business that's trying to do something in life, I'm willing to work with. You know what I mean? And I just started doing that because, during the pandemic, I had to really rewrite everything, and I've lost a lot of people during that time, not from the pandemic, from other things, but you know what I mean? It's just that we as all people have to stick together. You know, Wellness Frugal Mama's on here. She's got a, you know, whole wellness site and everything like that. She does exercise every morning. She does it at 6 o'clock in the morning. It's 7 o'clock my time. But unfortunately, I don't wake up till about 9 o'clock. So when I wake up, I automatically go to her page. Tiffany, that's my girl. You know, Tiffany Echo, and there'll be other people on in a little while. So tell us about yourself.
Sure thing. Well, hello, everyone. I am Alex Moses, owner of Sophie's Mart, and actually grandson of the original Sophie, Sophie Human. So a little bit about that. I'm here. I'm based here in Atlanta, Georgia. About a year and a half ago, somewhere in the pandemic, I knew I wanted to start creating some type of residual income, start creating some type of way to eventually start earning money on my own, and kind of funnel that entrepreneurial spirit. And I originally got that from my grandma. My grandma, Sophie Humans of Allendale, South Carolina, Rep Kennedy Park. She was many things, but main thing that she was a pillar, not just for me specifically, but the community. I know everyone, especially Black communities, have like what they call candy ladies, where everybody wants to get the treats. That's what my grandma Sophie was. But she was much more than that. She had a lot of essential items that she sold other than candy to the kids and things of that nature. And that's where I first saw, you know, that entrepreneurial spirit. And I think what she did funnel, not just to me, but this throughout the family. And this is just my way of starting my own way of how I want to do that. And so I started with Sophie's Mart and named it after my grandma, who basically gave me that spirit in the first place. And I wanted to start something that can sell like-minded, essential, premium quality products, just like she did, not just to Allendale community, but to the rest of the world. And still that same experience, the same great quality, same great hospitality and things of that nature into my product as well. I started selling on Amazon. I started with coffee because that was my favorite. I love coffee. Just like you, I love coffee. My family loves coffee. My wife's family loves coffee. So I thought it would be a great idea to start with coffee. And plus, my dad always went on and on sometimes about the coffee my grandma made. Of course, I was too young to try it, but so I definitely worked with him a little bit to kind of test out and see if I can get the best roast and best quality beans as possible. So it's good to hear that you enjoy the coffee.
It's funny you say that because I've been drinking coffee since I was about either 7 or 8 years old. My father is from Mississippi and my mother is from Portugal. So we drank coffee all the time. And so it was nothing for me to have coffee going to school. And kids would say, like, what you got, hot chocolate? I said, me coffee. And they'd be like, really? You know.
Were you very energetic? Did you go to school bouncing off the walls?
No, I was never, I was never that kid. I have to be perfectly honest with you, I was a pretty good kid. I didn't take anything, but I didn't. I mean, I'm 74 years old, so we didn't sass teachers. They said what they said, and I would go home and I would tell my mother, if I didn't like something that was said, even if it was to another child. And my mother said, well, as long as they're not bothering you, I'm not saying anything. But if they bother you or do something like that and you think it's out of the ordinary, I'll go back. And now I was really not a bouncing off the wall kid, and I drank coffee all day long. I go to bed with a cup of coffee. Oh. Okay, and everybody says, doesn't that keep? No, nothing keeps me up.
That's a blessing in itself. That's good. It's funny. It's funny you mentioned about the schools back talking and things of that nature. I think that I'm part of the last generation that where the school teachers and principals could still whoop you with that wooden paddle. So I was a great kid. I may have had that once or twice, but I still was a great kid.
Now the teachers never hit me because I never sassed them. I might think things under my breath, but I never said that to them. But I taught school, so I know. I was a teacher, and then I was a school counselor for years before I retired. So, I know what it's like now. I would not want to teach school. I would not want to even go near them because it's terrible. And then, like I said, I have a 13-year-old granddaughter. You know what I mean? And I just kind of look at her and I go, oh boy.
Well, that more power to you. I can only imagine you drinking coffee early in the morning, going to school. If I was an energetic person, so me going to school with a full cup of coffee, I can only imagine. Maybe maybe I don't think I could have done that. But so more power to you.
So I have to ask you, you know what I mean? Did you actually grow the beans? Because I want to grow coffee. And my husband says that we live in Delaware. I come from Massachusetts, but we live in Delaware. He said this is not the climate for it. I don't believe it.
No, good question. So this particular coffee, these coffee beans are 100% Arabica beans. But to answer your question, I did not grow these. I've actually met with, I think, 7 different roasters from New York to Chicago to LA. I had I tried in Nevada and tried different people and kind of brought my dad along with me to kind of see, based on his taste buds, what was the closest to his grandma, and kind of hit the nail on the head out of a roaster out of New York. But we are in discussion to see how we can start growing our own beans and having our own harvest. And I'd like to be able to host that somewhere in Allendale, where my grandma is from. Have more than enough land, so I'm pretty sure that wouldn't be an issue. So that will be the next venture that I will be looking to get into, and to actually kind of grow my own beans and get into the farm industry.
Well, that's funny, because recently, in the recent years, I've learned that South Carolina and I think North Carolina grew their own coffee and did rice. And I did not know that. Okay, for some reason, I always thought rice was further, down the, like someplace like Florida and stuff like that. I mean, you don't know everything, but I do read. So when I start reading, I'm like, oh, wow, rice right in South Carolina. You know what I mean? And
yes, they have a lot of farmland. Well, at least where I'm from in Allendale and that whole area. But both Carolinas, they're known for a lot of different agricultural products.
Yeah, I'm finding that out. I found that out a few years ago. And then as I read, when things come before me and I read them and stuff like that, and I'm like, to me, education never stops. So I was like impressed with South Carolina. And because I wanted to move my coffee there, I wanted to grow coffee, because I have beans. And I'm wondering if I do the same thing that I do with my peas and my beans and stuff every year, the dry beans, I just let them, put them in some water, and they get the little buds going and everything like that. I wonder if that would happen with the coffee.
From my research, coffee is a fairly easy. Well, I don't want to say it too much, because I don't want to have a lot more competitors start getting into the coffee business and competing with me. But it is, from what I heard, it's one of the fairly easier plants to actually grow and harvest. It doesn't need specific soil or have specific or unique watering patterns. It just depends. That basically has to have between 10 to 15 acres to have enough space to be able to keep repollinating with other coffee trees and be able to have, like, you do just one coffee tree is not, from what I've read, research is not going to do great. But you have to have kind of like a pretty much a multiple. It says 10 acres for most of the research and articles that we've read thus far. So for it to actually grow a lot better and a lot more efficient. So if you have the land, hey, maybe we can work out a deal, and maybe we can work out I get my coffee specifically from you.
No, I don't have that kind of land. I have land.
I call it the Nia roast.
Yeah, I grow vegetables and stuff like that, but I downsized, so I don't have, I had acres of land at one particular time, but I don't anymore, which I don't know. That was a long time ago, though. You know what I mean? So then, as little by little, we went, because we moved so much, because he was in the service, So, but we always did have enough land that we could grow vegetables and stuff. Besides which, I'm a little bit too old for that complete adventure. You know what I mean?
It's never too young, too young.
Yeah, but you got to tell my knees that, okay? You know what I'm saying? So what I want to know, okay, is where do you go from here? Because, and of course, how people can get your coffee and stuff like that. And I did not put the address in here, but I will. Okay. And how people can get your coffee, how they can communicate with you. You know, during this time, maybe about 4 or 5 months down the line, you come back on again and tell us how you're doing and everything like that.
That would be awesome. I'm gonna hold you to it. I would love to be able to come back.
Well, listen, if I say something, I'm gonna do it.
I like it. Speaking into existence.
Mhm.
But for those who want to be able to visit Sophie's Mart, you can see it. I'm not sure if you can see this link below me, but I do have right next to my name, sophiesmart.com. From that website, you have all of our contact information. If you want to contact us directly, you want to reach out to some of our and follow us on social media, all of that is there. One of the things that I am my next steps, what I want to do. So I'll be completely honest. I never intended to be the next Jeff Bezos with Sophie's Mart. If I do become so, that'd be awesome. My main goal was to generate a self-repetitive, self-residual income from this particular business and be able to use it as a template for others in my family to be able to do the same. That's the main thing. I want to build generational income. I think a lot of my family members, especially my younger cousins, have a lot of ideas, a lot of imagination, a lot of energy, and want to create and do things and do jobs. But I think because Allendale is a very small town, and that area is small, and I think what they sometimes get the fact that it's too hard or they can't get it, can't do so. So I would love to be able to use Sophie's Mart to be able to teach them skills that they'll learn in the career world that they can take on. So maybe they leave high school and already with skills and experience and running a business and doing different things in the business, so that when they go into college, a job is not going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, you got a degree, but you got any experience." They do have experience. Sophie's Mart, and hopefully, maybe I can this. Well, I know once I remember my last talk, you said speaking into existence. So no hope talk. This will turn into a booming business that I can be able to drive the family and be able to, like I said, build generational wealth within the family, not just me and my household, but my actual all family, all of Sophie Human's original kids. So that's why I originally created. I wanted to be able to show, hey, look, I'm doing it. This is how you do it. Come join me. Let me show you how to do it, and let's all get into this world. And because we're a lot better together, and we have a lot of different ideas and things that I think that is worth them putting it on screen. So
yeah, I agree. I agree. Now, I gotta hear about Sophie. And I know that she had the market and everything like that. But Sophie sounds so much like my father's mother that I gotta hear about her, because I'll tell you just a little bit about me. Um, I come from two completely different backgrounds, but my grandmother, my mother's mother died when she was 10, so I never knew her. But my father's mother, she was like my best friend. She taught me a lot of things. My mother did too, but she taught me about, because my father, when he got out of the Navy, he started his own business. He had a barbershop and a store. So they always taught me about getting an education, but being independent. You know what I mean? So I want to hear about your grandmother.
oh, all right, Sophie Ellis Humans of Allendale, South Carolina. Where do I start? From what first to say, my grandma passed away a couple of years ago. If I had to actually compare her to anyone, she's basically like Big Mama from you ever seen that movie? What was it, Soul Food? Was it Soul Food? Soul Food?
Yeah, I did see Soul
Yeah,
Food.
yeah, not the comedy, not Big Mama the comedy with Martin Lawrence, the one with the Soul Food in the family. She was the central point. I think her house was the house that was never empty. Everyone came there, whether it's for breakfast. She cooked the best foods. And she was also the religious pillar. She was the person that, of course, had enough prayers, had enough blessings for everyone in the family. I think where I am today is because of the prayers that she did long ago before I was truly in the church, to be completely honest. And then after that, she's the one who truly acclimated me in the church. She's the one who made sure I went to not only the Sunday churches, but also the summer schools throughout the week. She made sure that I was the one. Always made sure I treated everyone with respect. And she always did it without being a hard disciplinarian. At least to me, she was, of course, she had a firm voice. She was a firm believer in what she believed in, but she instilled discipline in basically everyone with just her tone, her kindness, and just leading by example. And I think through the entirety of my entire relationship with my grandma, I only got one whooping from her, and one whooping. And I say that because a lot of folks think that I was a different kind of kid, and I got a lot of whoopings during the summer. I'm not gonna say that, but I was a great kid. But with my grandma, let me tell you this one funny story I had to think about. So during her store, like she did sell essential products. So some people in the community they smoke cigarettes. So she did have cigarettes as cigarette packs and cartons as a product in her store. One day, I think I might have been like 9 or 10. I see this one lady buy cigarettes almost every other day, and I was curious. I wanted to see what it is I get about cigarettes. So I said, hey, grandma, so and so across the street, she wants to buy cigarettes. She sent me with this money. Here it is. So I gave her the money, got the carton, and I went to go hide behind a tree and tried to spark it. And immediately, I've never seen my grandma run. She comes out of nowhere with a fly swatter and held me by the ear, just like you see in movies and stuff, and literally walked me over to the street and made me give it to her. Now, I paid with my allowance money, so I didn't get that allowance money back either. But after that, yeah, of course. After that, so I did get a whooping after that. Well, I say whooping. Hers were like 2 licks of the fly swatter, which still brought tears. But after that, she talked to me. She talked about why, and she talked about mainly about lying and thievery. What I did was basically stealing, and basically did such a heart to heart. And she was that type of person. She'll tell you you're wrong, but also kind of relate with you in a way after the fact to let you know that, hey, you're okay. You're not a bad person. You made a mistake. It's all good. Just don't do it again. Type of person. So that was one of the fondest memories that I've had from my grandma. Of course.
Well, I mean, she sounded like she was an upstanding woman. And you're frozen. You're frozen for some reason. I don't know. How the heck did this get frozen? I don't know what happened. He's frozen somehow. Let me try to refresh this. Let me reload.
There we go.
You were frozen for a minute. I had to reload again.
Yeah, not sure.
I really don't
not
know.
Sure what.
It's just one of those things. You're back on.
It happens, right? It happens.
Yeah, it does happen quite a bit. So what is have you back in a few months and a few weeks, few months, probably about a month, maybe August or the beginning of September, because we want to know how you're going and everything like that. Oh, and by the way, I found out that you make K-Cups.
Yes, we now have K-Cups officially available. And I'm glad you brought that up. Our K-Cups are actually 100% compostable, meaning they're not like regular plastic cups that other people do. I wanted to create something that's a little bit different. So I partnered with Green Pods to get our coffee grinded in their actual pods. And what those pods are, they're made from a plant-based material, which the entire pod is a 100% compostable, like I was saying. It's easily recyclable. For example, if it was to get somehow fell out of your trash can and fell into the grass, it will decompose into earth instead of being like plastic and being a waste that can cause harm to our Mother Earth. So,
Okay, that's good.
Yep. So
Yeah,
really,
I was on your site and I'm like, just, familiarizing myself with things. And I'm like, oh, he got K-Cups. And I don't really use K-Cups unless I have company, and so that I don't, because everybody drinks a different coffee. So, but for me, I'm fine with the regular coffee because, like I said, I can make a pot of that and I can be gone by the afternoon and I have to make a new pot. So,
oh man. Well, good thing about my K-Pods that they also contain 40% more coffee than a regular plastic K-Cup. So in theory, you could brew our Sophie Smart K-Pod twice compared to when you brew in just once of the K-Cup. So you get more coffee, more bang for your buck, as they say.
Yeah, because the old folks would use that tea bag or that coffee. Okay, those coffee grinds until they were no more. You know that, right?
Oh yes, definitely know that.
Yep. Is there anything you want to say to everybody?
Yes,
coffee.
Yes, I actually do. So we talked a lot about coffee. I wanted to talk a little bit about the community before we go. Okay. For all of our friends, family, followers that's coming from the South Carolina area, Sophie Smart will be partnering with the Dominion Empowerment, which is a nonprofit in Aiken, South Carolina, on Saturday, July 23rd. And they'll be doing a Youth Summer Fest, which is a completely free event. Bring the kids out from 11 to 3. We got a pool, got games, got $1,000 gift cards. The food is free. And I will also there be sampling and giving out free coffee to the parents and staff that is there. It's been a long summer and school is around the corner. So I know for sure you're going to need a cup of coffee for that Saturday. Enjoy your kids. So if you're there in Aiken, if you're around July 23rd, definitely come out. It's going to be at the Smith Hazel Recreation Center, hosted by Dominion Empowerment. So it's going to be a lot of great things out there. So if you are in the area, definitely encourage you to come out. And if you need more information, just hit me up directly. You see my social media info, just contact us and I'll see what we can do.
All right. Again, also, I want to know before we go too, are you going to have an affiliate program?
I will have an affiliate program.
Okay.
You'll be my first one.
Yeah, because then I can put that on my screen and, it goes around and stuff like that. And people actually do go on the screen. Now, tomorrow, everybody, that we're starting with our Christmas in July and August. So tomorrow we're actually making shower steamers, both sweet smelling ones and then ones with eucalyptus and stuff like that to open up your sinuses. So I wrote everything in there. And we'll do it two ways. We'll do it with the citric acid and with lemon juice because some people cannot take citric acid. So before everybody starts saying, okay, well, and some people don't have citric acid at home either. So, Anyways, is there anything else you want to say before we get ready to close?
Follow us on all of our social media on IG at sophies.mart or come to the website at sophiesmart.com.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Wellness Frugal Mama, I'll see you in the morning. I'm getting ready to go do a few things and rest. All right. Thank you so much. I'm really glad you came.
I'm glad you invited.
And I got to. I'm not going to be here forever, okay? And young people are taking over. Wellness Frugal Mama's taking over. All you young people are taking over, and I'm going to sit back and rest. All right. Rest easy, everybody. God bless you. Stay safe. Hold your loved ones close, okay? And I will see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Good night. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.